Hello and welcome back to Speed Freak Garage, home of power sports on YouTube. So we are back with Porsche McPorscheface, our 1987 Porsche 944S with the 5.3 liter LS swap. So right now we are working on the front suspension, and for many vehicles, if you want to build a rally car, you can just go and buy off-the-shelf rally suspension, especially for all the Subarus and VWs and blah, blah, blah. You can just go buy a set of rally coilovers and you're done. End of story. However, that's not the case for vehicles that aren't popular rally cars. You have to build custom rally suspension. So, in order to do that, you need to get the measurements from your vehicle for the builder to build the suspension. Now, in some instances, you can send the strut to the builder, and then they'll take the strut and do the measurements themselves and build it. However, in this case, the builder that I found after over a month of searching for somebody that would build the suspension for me, they're in Taiwan, and before you say anything, they have hill climb championship trophies, and I verified that they're, legit. So it's a legitimate high-end off-road rally suspension company. I'll show you guys later. And I can't send the strut to them because shipping this giant strut to Taiwan would be an outrageous, cost. And even the guy said, don't bother, just send me the measurements. So we're going to start with the top hats, and we're going to work our way down. Basically, I probably should take the strut out first, but I want to measure these 4 bolt holes before anything else, before I take them out, in case the holes inside here are, bigger or elongated or stretched or whatever. So you always want to use calipers, and you want to do it in millimeters because it's more precise. I don't know very many people that work in inches anymore anyway. So what we're going to do, we're going to just do engine side. And I'm going to go and redo all this, maybe not in CAD, but I'm going to digitize all this so he doesn't have to worry about reading my handwriting, because you don't want a mistake in your handwriting and then, something's way off. So then we're going to do circle, 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 circle. Okay, so we're going to kind of... Is my phone ringing? Damn it. Okay, so... So you want to do your best to get the center of the bolt, obviously, and we'll clean this all up once we get the strut out, but 59.96. Obviously, that's 60 millimeters. So at least one person in Germany knew how to design a vehicle and used an even number. So go to the center to center, 110.2. So obviously that's let me double check that one. This says 110.78. Give me a break here. And I'm getting 111. Why would you do 111? Like, what the hell would compel you to type into well, I guess they didn't use computers. They used a piece of paper. But what the hell would compel you? Okay, 111 millimeters. Stupidity. Okay. Then we need to know not the diameter of this, but the whole size of this piece. And obviously we're going to have to, do some cutting and welding to make this stronger, but I'm not going to be able to get that with the strut in. But can do that. Get an estimate. It's about 100 millimeters. diameter. So the reason why I'm tagging these studs is just in case the holes are elongated or damaged. So we tagged our studs, got do driver side, and again I'm digitizing all this later, so really now I can just pop these 4 nuts loose and let the strut drop, and I got a jack stand under the hub, so hopefully the hub doesn't like collapse. Because yeah, I don't know, let's actually okay. I got Jones for 2, so now I can grab those like 13s. That was 13s. That was tight. Brake line free, so don't mess it up. Okay. Alright, so guess it's 1902. Seems loose. Oh, it's an extension bolt. I feel intelligent. Means I should have technically removed the brake caliper and then removed the nut from the correct side. Or if motherfuckers would install it. Okay, so apparently this washer down here, this extension washer is supposed to come off. And at least the bolt release. Oh yeah. Okay. Alright. Set her down. Okay. Now, of course, there's tools and shit in my way, but okay. So now I can get much more accurate. One thing, they have a little alignment pinhole right here. That's not important. I'm just gonna break that off. That's completely unimportant. Never actually seen any other cars with that. Okay, so you have a strut, right? Oh yeah, look at that. See how the strut is angled because it doesn't have a ball. Like it's an old school design that doesn't have the really nice ball style, so that's not important anymore. But what is important is all this. So we're gonna go ahead and just make another drawing. And you'll see what I'm doing here in a sec. So what this will do, diameter, and then we'll do from inside to inside. And I know that sounds crazy, but you'll see why. And then we'll double check the diameter of this one. So, and I'm getting as much data as I can so I don't have to come back here after taking a shower and then moving on to the computer. So that's a 9.1, so that's 9 millimeter. See, this hole's stretched, so it's exactly what I was talking about. 9 millimeter. I'm gonna assume they're all 9s. Yeah, they're all 9 millimeters. Good, good, nothing funky there. The reason why I measured all 4 is because, I mean, it's a Porsche. They went out of their way to screw you if you ever need replacement parts. Okay, now, so like I said, what the fuck? I'm going to do the shortest distance between the holes, which is 59.5, and I have to get 51 millimeters. So if you do 51 millimeters plus 9 millimeters, that's 60 millimeters. So you guys see where I'm going with this? So we verified that the correct hole spacing is 60 millimeters. Okay, that's important. You don't want to have your very, very expensive custom coilovers arrive and they don't even fit. So this is 102, 101.8, but I mean that's 102. So 102 plus 9 is 111. So the crazy 111 is actually correct. They, for whatever reason, their engineer said, fuck 110 millimeters, I'm gonna make it 111 millimeters. Screw everybody. God, I fucking hate this car. Okay. Okay. So 102 plus 9 is 111. So we verified our measurements are correct. So now we need to make sure that this guy is a true circle. So we're getting 100.4 and fucking 100.35. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna call that, yes, it's 100 diameter. Now, you could make the mistake of assuming that this hole is centered in the square pattern created by this vehicle. And you would probably be wrong. I mean, let's be honest, they've made the whole rest of the car a pain in the ass. So we're going to double check that this hole is centered in this square. So that is 7.9 millimeters. So we're going to just make that 8 millimeters. Okay, then that is 8.02, 8.5. Interesting, that's quite a bit of difference. 8.06. What is the 8 point? Okay, so the hole is centered in the square. That's lucky, not always the case. So I'm gonna write centered. Okay, so the drawing of the top hat will be pretty straightforward. So that's good. Now, I can't take the strut apart. I don't have the tools I need to safely remove the top hat. But yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Trying to get in there and measuring where the top hat's sitting is going to be a very big problem, especially because the shock's not going to, online, if you look around online for information about the suspension, the claim is that it's a 7.8 inch stroke. So I could write down 7.8 and give it to this guy. But if that's wrong, that's on me, and then I've lost several $1,000s. So I'm gonna try and verify it, and that's the other thing, is he wants from the bottom of the cartridge to the seat where the top hat goes. Oh man, I really rather just ship this to him, honestly. I mean, I'm going to do all this drawing and stuff and do the pictures and stuff, but then I'm going to say, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure I cannot ship this strut to you? Honestly, I think it would probably help both of us, but I mean, if he doesn't want it or doesn't need it, that's, that's fine. So, let's see. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, tape measure. Tape measure. Oh, it's right here. Good. And then new piece of paper. Okay, put that somewhere safe. Okay, so now the two very specific dimensions he wanted were, so you got your threads here, and then you got a seat, and the shaft comes down, and then you got your strut cartridge. Okay, this is very simple. He wants A, and he wants B. The problem is I can't measure A and B with the way the strut is. So I'm gonna half-ass it. So I'm gonna measure C, which, just to tell you ahead of time, is not the right way to do it. So if you can actually disassemble your strut, your top hat, without, shooting a spring through your face and killing yourself. Like, I don't have a spring compressor and I'm not gonna buy one. And the friend of mine who has one is busy, and I don't have time to waste because I need to get these dimensions to this guy as soon as possible. So I'm just gonna try and half-ass measure C, and then online they said A is 7.8 inch, which I don't know why they did it in inches because I'm pretty sure everything's in millimeters, but we can at least attempt to verify that claim. So if I stick this tape measure up in here, I'm getting 8 inches. So I think 7.8 is probably a fair, a fair estimate. The problem is Yeah, I mean, that's basically 7.8. The problem is this has a big bell shape, which then goes up to the top hat. So there's a space between the, I don't know how to explain it. How do I explain it? There's an extra inch of space that's not accounted for with these measurements, which is why I'm gonna try and convince him to let me ship this to him. I mean, and there's nothing in the way here, so I think it's just a weird design. Okay, and then we can really easily measure the strut body. So right about there, it's about 14 and a half. It's 14 and a half. Where's my more precise? It's dead, and it didn't come with extra batteries like they normally do. Real nice. Okay. Nope. Alright, fuck it. Tape measure time. So, $14 and a half. I'm gonna call it 14.5 inches. I'll look for a millimeter equivalent and see if I can find something close. So that's that. And the problem is I'm gonna basically take pictures and put diagrams over the pictures. The 7.8 though is only to like right there. See how there's like a lip there where the strut would come up to? It doesn't include all of this extra stuff, so that's why I'm a little worried about not actually, sending it to him, but we'll see. Okay, now we've got some adjustable holes here, so we're gonna have to start a new page because I wasted a whole page. So do that. So, he also said something about measuring the compression when the car is sitting on the ground. But the problem is I lifted the car and the strut's blown. The car's geometry is all different now, so I'll try to, all right. So let me measure that spacer. I think they were just 1/2 inch. Yeah, they're 1/2 inch spacers. So I need to include that to him that I changed the car's geometry by 1/2 an inch. And I want to lower it an inch, so yeah. Yep, kind of, I tried to use an American company. I tried to use somebody in the USA, and the fuckers are not answering their phone or email or returning messages or anything, so, they lost my business. Fuck them. You can't fucking answer a basic fucking email, then you're not getting my business. Okay, so we've got our strut, and then it comes out and down, and then back up. And then it's got a oval and a circle. Okay, so we need the distance between them, and then we need the length, diameter. Okay. So the length, is 18 millimeters. Diameter, well, I guess I should say width, but same thing. It's 12, so it's a 12 millimeter bolt. At least it's a decent sized bolt. Down here, please be 12. Also 12, good job, Porsche, finally. Because the shocks, the fucking assholes, used 12 millimeters on the top shock and 14 millimeters on the bottom shock. I mean, what is your problem? Use two 12 millimeter bolts like every other freaking metric car in the stupid. It's stupidity. Okay. I need to get this dimension here, because I think that's going to be important. It's like, it's going to be hard to measure though. It's going to be really hard to measure. It's like another 12 mils. And then this bolt hole, so what we'll do is we'll do the shortest distance between these two holes, which is 51 millimeters, plus the 12 equals 62? No. Wait. 63? 63 millimeters. That is odd. That is an odd number. So if I put the calipers on 63, right, and then just kind of hover over, it looks right. So 63, I guess. And then it looks like you can kind of guesstimate that this hole is centered on the slot, and that looks to be a correct estimate, guesstimate, whatever. So, okay. Now the problem is, where is this hole in relation to this bottom? And it's not, it's almost, I'm almost willing to say that this hole is like, it's gonna be tough to call, but it's gonna be really tough to call. I'm gonna say this hole is maybe two millimeters. The bottom of the hole, yeah, I drew this hole actually should be here, but it's 2 millimeters above the bottom of the cartridge. So, yeah, my poor shoe. Okay, oh yeah, and then the distance from the hole to the center of the cartridge. So that's, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. And probably we want to get the spring length too. So the question is, where is the center of the cartridge? Well, that's a guess. 50, this basically is telling me it's 50 millimeters. And you honestly want to err on the side of caution so you have room for the, you know, I'm going to say it's 50 millimeters. And then you want the diameter of your cartridge, which is 54 millimeters. This might be more information than he needs, but we got to be careful. Because say this cartridge he sends me is bigger, which it probably will be, then he'll have to move it farther away from these holes. So he's got to know how far away the original one is, how big the original one is. Ooh, also, The length of the springs, I think, probably important. I'll just make a side note since I didn't leave room. So the spring length, well, this is not the extended length, but it's basically, it's a 13-inch spring about seat to seat. Let's see, seat to seat's right at 13 and a half-ish, 13-inch, called 13-inch, because I think springs are all made by the inch for whatever reason. Okay, and then I need to get the pictures, which I can just do that off camera. Got that. Oh yeah, another important thing is the thickness of this metal. Because there's clearance issues, obviously, so we're gonna go ahead and measure it, and it will come in. It's kind of messed up from the bolt, but it's looking like 8 mil about. I don't know, that one's bent up pretty good if I do this other side here. And it is 6 mil. Wow, that's not much steel to hold that thing together. Oh, and the width, the inside width, that would have been dumb to forget. This is 6 millimeters, and let's see. This top one, 16 millimeters. Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. And the width, which we will measure. It would be smarter to measure it off of the actual, what is it called, the knuckle. Which is 18.2. 18. Okay. And then we'll just measure this to be safe. 19, I guess it kind of squeezes itself together. So do I want to tell him 18 or do I want to tell him 19? I guess I'm giving him the strut drawing, so do 19. Wow, I'm not. Okay, so double check that. We'll see, that's 18. That's 18.7. I don't know what to tell him now, because I don't want it to be loose. I'm gonna say 18. Worst case, I have to pry it apart 0.2 millimeters. Okay. And then I don't really care about the little mount for the brake line because it's wrong anyway. I'll just end up zip tying it somewhere. And then, yep. Okay, so we are going to transition on over to the desktop computer, and I will just time-lapse the drawing and part, and then we will come back to a little voiceover showing you which company I chose and showing you what I'm going to send him for information. Okay, so as you just saw through the time lapse, we created a basic picture and dimension document. So we've got our strut dimensions, we've got the body length, stroke length, this weird top hat issue that I hope he knows what this is, the compressed spring length at extended stroke. I don't know, I hope he's not going to make me compress this by putting it back on the car. Just a close-up picture here, picture of um, the knuckle, I guess you would call it. And then showing the half-inch spacers. Hopefully that's enough explanation that he kind of understands the geometry changes. Then we have the drawing of the strut, body, stroke, the 18 millimeters here, and the 54s, blah. Then the top hat, more detailed, specific drawing. And then this very, very detailed drawing for him here. So now, how did I find a company to build me custom suspension? Well, the first thing I did is I went to all the major companies that make VW Porsche suspension for on-road. I went to every single on-road Porsche coilover company and I sent them an email and I said, can you make these but with a 46 millimeter inverted strut cartridge for off-road? And most of them didn't even bother to reply because they're dicks, at least reply to the email. 2 or 3 said, sorry, we can't, and thank you so much for replying and saying you can't, at least you replied. So then I had to go to plan B, which is just going to Google custom rally suspension. So Rally Build came up, I emailed them, I emailed D2 Racing, I emailed Watt Suspension, I even emailed Dirtfish because they have a whole article about proper rally suspension, but they don't even bother to tell you who would build you custom rally suspension. I emailed KW, I emailed Rally Sport, I emailed everybody. Rally Build replied, and Watt Suspension replied. And Watt Suspension actually replied about a day ahead of Rally Build. So basically, I'm working with Watt Suspension right now. So I'm working with these guys. And the reason why is, as I mentioned earlier, is it looks like their website froze. There it is. They have a hill climb championship heritage. Like they're not just some company, they're a championship company. So I chose to go with them, and the coils that I'm looking into are these. So they're two-way with reservoir. Where'd it go? I think 57 millimeter coilovers for rally racing. And it even says here off-road coilovers. Now this says rally asphalt hill climb, but I verified that he can build it for, like, I sent him a video of people jumping the camel jump at jumping the cattle jump at 100-acre wood, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hit this jump at 100 miles an hour. I have to land and keep going. And he's like, no problem, we got it. We can do it. So this is what we're going to do, something like this. So we're going to be working with Watt Suspension. So I've been going back and forth with him. He's awesome, super helpful, very quick response. Every time I send an email, I get a response within 24 hours. It's awesome. So anyway, real quick to recap, we have the picture of the top hat with the dimensions. We have the picture of the strut with some estimated dimensions because they're kind of hard to get without taking the strut apart because I don't have the tools to take the strut apart. Close up, the knuckle, the spacers because of the LS swap, and then I've got the detailed drawings, everything that he should need. And I'm going to offer to him to allow me to ship the strut to him because the strut's blown, so I don't need it. I can't use it. It's not even drivable. So, yeah. So anyway, that's our video for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for part 2. Well, I don't know. Part 2 could be when the new coilovers arrive 3 months from now, or part 2 could be tomorrow if he asks me for more dimensions and pictures. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.